The successive escape from Duckov is another dot on the graph of indie games that won't save the gaming industry, which is a narrative that gaming industry professionals have rallied behind. Now, the important thing to remember is that when people that work with or within the AAA gaming studios and publishers say that indie games won't save the gaming industry, what they're referring to is an industry that gamers have zero incentive to save. In fact, most gamers would be fine if it collapsed under the weight of its own bloat to make way for something new and something better. The problem with this narrative is in three parts. It forgets the simple rule that business problems are not for the customers to solve. It's up to the business owners to run a sustainable business that produces products that people actually want to buy and that businesses can make money off of, and repeat that cycle. Number two, it redirects blame to gamers for something that the gaming industry itself created. There is no shortage of people to state just how nepotistic the industry is, and when you only hire from within a bubble and only hear perspectives from an extremely similar segment of the population, you will make bad decisions that were validated by people whose opinions are very similar to your own. I'm mainly speaking about higher level leadership and executives here because ultimately it is those folks that make their own beds as they hire within their own biases and create the bubble themselves in the first place. But finally, these narratives are assuming that the gaming industry should be structured the same way forever. This particular point is inspired specifically from comments made in the article titled "The Games Industry is Deprofessionalizing," which is a sentence I found myself squinting at. Why is it that capitalists and corporate capitulators applaud the free market when it goes their way, but have to come up with new terms to excuse the free market when it's not choosing them anymore? If gamers, the customers, are making it loud and clear that they're unhappy with the games that they're getting as a product of how the industry is structured, then it's only a matter of time until that industry has to change. The article is correct in that the rise of indie games is going to mean that less people find stable employment in the gaming industry. If one person can create a game and sell their own to millions of people, there will be less people in that stack benefiting from that launch of a game. But I personally think that's a good thing. The worst thing that's ever happened under capitalism is that at every single layer of every single industry, there are leeches who contribute very little to producing a good product or taking care of the customer, but take all of the rewards when it comes to paying themselves out, especially when things go wrong. Then when a new fiscal quarter comes around, the most innovative thing some of these people can think of to fix the balance sheet is to make the oh so very brave decision to lay a ton of people off and pull the rug under their own hardworking employees, even when things go well. But I have a huge problem with the idea of deprofessionalization because I'm hearing a bit of doublespeak throughout the articles when it gets brought up. On the one hand, they could just mean that the gaming professions are going away. The textbook definition of a profession is just a paid occupation, especially one that involves prolonged training and a formal qualification. I would argue that some professions today, especially the newest ones, don't even really require formal qualifications anymore. So in reality, a profession is just a paid occupation with prolonged training and experience, all of which can be done as a solo dev that pays themselves and puts their name on the credit of their own game. There's no more formal qualification than having launched a damn game into the market, and there are entire professions that hire based on portfolios of work. So if they meant it that way, I don't think it's deprofessionalizing at all. And if anything, this next generation of game devs will be the cream of the crop that built their careers on their own hard work and not on the backs of already successful games made by previous generations. On the other hand, I get the idea that when they say deprofessionalizing, they mean not corporate, not part of the in-crowd, or just not part of the standard status quo, which is, I think, how a lot of people took it online when this article first started making its rounds around YouTube videos a few months ago. What it means to be professional is part of a construct. It's made up by corporate drones of a bygone era, and what is professional in one company changes even among different corporations. So if it was meant as a jab to solo devs or scrappy teams that are doing things different and trying to be innovative, then I'm rolling my eyes into the back of my head as I place a mega bunk and end my night. Thank you for watching this far. If you did, I know this video is not about Albion, so that's the only thing that's gotten views so far on my channel, and I promise I'll make another one soon. I'm just generally passionate about gaming and the gaming industry and its evolution, so I wanted to add my voice to the chorus of gamers that are trying to get these corporate structures to jiggle even just a little bit in the right direction. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.